Have you ever found yourself feeling like something is missing? Like you're stuck in a cycle that leaves you exhausted, lacking energy and motivation? What if I told you that there was a way to reverse this, to awaken a strength and confidence that you may have never experienced before? Today, we're going to explore the power of semen retention and how this practice can transform your health, your mind, and even the way you see yourself and relate to the world. If you want to know how to master your energy and achieve a level of discipline that few can achieve, watch until the end. This could be exactly what you need to feel stronger, more focused, and truly in control of your life. I thank everyone who is here, following this trip, because you are the ones who make it all worth it. The channel is an environment that we build collectively, and every comment, every word of encouragement, and even every question you ask has a concrete effect on this community. Those who have been following me for some time know that the energy of this place is maintained by each individual who identifies with the message and chooses to follow this path. Everyone who participates, commenting or participating, not only demonstrates presence, but also reinforces this movement of growth, self-knowledge, and male empowerment that we are building together. And for newcomers, it's time to introduce yourself, to make your mark. Please participate, as this will allow us to connect and welcome you into the community. Here, each individual who arrives adds something new and relevant. Each of you brings a new vision, a new experience, and this is how we develop together. It is through interaction, sharing, and presence that we build such a robust and genuine community. If you are new to the channel, know that you are not isolated on this path, and that here you will find individuals who are following the same path of self-knowledge and personal development. Click like and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything we share here. Likes go beyond a simple interaction. It represents a way to demonstrate to YouTube and other men the importance of this content. We are in this together, and your participation is what allows a greater number of people to see this message. Spread the word, comment, participate in this mission. Each action represents an additional step we take to amplify the message and influence lives. When done with understanding and purpose, semen retention transforms the individual from the inside out. It is not just a practice, but a journey of self-discovery and elevation. And with each advance, with each barrier overcome, we become more resilient, more focused, and more robust. This force is concrete, tangible. It changes the way you perceive yourself and the way the world perceives you. That's what I want to share with you here on the channel. I want you to feel this shift, to experience this inner power, built with discipline, that impacts every aspect of your life. For those who choose to embark on this adventure, it is a learning process that never ends, as there is always something new to learn and always a deeper level to reach. It is an incessant cycle of renewal, improvement, and development. When you allow yourself to live this experience, you understand that retention is not a deprivation, but rather an unlocking of potential, an expansion of your essence, a way to value your masculinity in a genuine and impactful way. Each day you choose to keep is a day where you reaffirm your commitment to yourself, to your energy, to your goal. On some occasions, during the retention journey, changes occur that are complex to understand, but that symbolize a significant change in the way we see the world and, above all, ourselves. I remember a particularly memorable experience that was shared with me by a follower. He reported that since he began practicing retention, he has seen a noticeable change in his desires and attraction. This follower, previously attracted to men, began to notice that, over time, this attraction changed and his predilection for women intensified. This change was not a conscious objective of his, but rather an unforeseen result of the process. This circumstance aroused his interest, making him question whether this experience was common among other semen retention practitioners. As he asked me this question, I was struck by the sincerity and depth of the change he was going through. Many may see this change as something abnormal, and in fact it is, as it is not merely a change in behavior or way of thinking, but a transformation in its essence, in its identity, and in the energies that it expresses and attracts. When reflecting on this experience, I understood that semen retention can directly affect our internal energies and the way we connect with the world around us. Semen retention naturally elevates testosterone levels, which can affect attraction and behavior patterns in ways many don't anticipate. By retaining this energy, we are highlighting the most essential characteristics of masculinity, making them more visible and powerful. In many aspects, retention reconnects us with a predominantly masculine energy, causing changes in our perceptions and, consequently, attracting what is contrary to this energy. We are discussing a practice that changes not only the physical body, but also the mind and soul. By retaining your semen, this vital energy, you are feeding what is most powerful in you. This profoundly impacts your internal structure, including how you perceive the world and how the world responds to you. Testosterone, in addition to enhancing strength, vitality, and concentration, works as a foundation that intensifies the characteristics inherent to the male gender. Thus, we begin to manifest, albeit subtly, a magnetism that attracts what is in harmony with this masculine energy, that is, the feminine. This testimony clearly illustrates how semen storage changes not only our energy, but also our interests and aspirations. This is not a forced transformation, but a natural process that happens when the body and mind align with this energy. This retention practice leads us to a rapprochement with our own masculine nature. This nature, when cultivated, generates a presence that distinguishes you, modifying your way of being. This does not imply that everyone will go through similar transformations, but it highlights the ability that this practice has to connect us with our true self, to reveal aspects of ourselves that were hidden or repressed. By choosing to retain semen, a person is choosing to cultivate an energy that not only strengthens him physically, but also elevates his consciousness, modifying significant aspects of his life. It seems that the body begins a process of reprogramming, reorganization, looking for what harmonizes with the energy you are accumulating and conserving. This journey is not about adapting to a model or satisfying other people's expectations, but rather about valuing and nurturing what is most genuine and strongest in you. In this context, retention works as an impulse that drives us to express our true essence, enabling the exploration and understanding of who we really are. For this follower, the change that occurred was surprising and led him to question his personal identity and the desires that he always considered unchangeable. What many ignore is that by holding on to this vital energy, you allow it to nourish parts of yourself that may not yet have been discovered. There is a rapprochement with the essence of masculinity that goes beyond conventional definitions and takes us to a level of deeper self-knowledge and understanding. Often, these impacts are imperceptible to those who have not yet advanced on this journey, but for those who experience it, they are undeniable. Semen retention has a transformative capacity, and each personal experience highlights the diversity of this process. Although science is able to explain some of these changes, such as the effects of testosterone, there is a spiritual and emotional element that goes beyond simple physiology. This testimony reminds us that body, mind, and spirit are interconnected, and that when we focus our energy on one of these elements, we invariably affect the others. Experience has shown that by dedicating ourselves to this practice, we are enabling our being, in all its dimensions, to undergo a process of purification and strengthening. We abandon the limitations and standards that have been imposed on us to discover a new manifestation of our being. This new phrase is not an external effort or creation. It is an innate alignment that arises from within, shaped by the essence you are cultivating throughout the exercise. It's as if, by conserving this vital energy, you are nourishing a part of yourself that often goes dormant, whether because of social restrictions or the ongoing cycle of release and instant satisfaction. By choosing retention, you break this cycle and allow a new force to emerge, changing every part of who you are. This follower, upon noticing the transformation in his attraction and interests, was not just experiencing a superficial change, but an intense reallocation of his energy, a reorientation of his very essence. By preserving this internal energy, we allow it to circulate and spread throughout the body and mind, producing a feeling of renewal and clarity. Practice allows us to discover a more genuine, more whole version of ourselves, a version of ourselves that is not divided or fragmented, but rather complete and balanced. His experience highlights a crucial aspect about the practice of retention. It is a route of rapprochement with our essence, a journey that leads us to understand who we really are, beyond external influences and passing desires. By conserving it, this intense energy stops being dissipated, transforming into an internal fuel that feeds not only the physical body, but also the emotional and spiritual one. This fuel generates a higher vibration, affecting our thoughts, feelings, and ultimately, the people and experiences we attract into our lives. Certainly, these changes may be surprising to many, even disconcerting. The experience of semen retention is unique to each person, and it is not always possible to predict what may occur. However, what it truly offers is an exposure of the most genuine and powerful facets of our being. When we abandon the search for ephemeral pleasure and satisfaction, we begin the search for lasting meaning and purpose, a search that transcends physical longing and ties to the essence of what it means to be a man. For some, like this follower, this rapprochement with the masculine essence can result in significant changes in relationships, interests, and the way they perceive the world. For others, it presents itself as mental clarity, inner tranquility, and unshakable faith. The practice of retention opens internal paths that we were often unaware of, revealing aspects of ourselves that were obscured. It is during this journey that we connect with a brute but enlightened force that lives within each of us. This force that emerges goes beyond the physical. It is a spiritual force, a presence that expresses itself through our posture, gaze, and voice. It is a calm and secure masculinity, which does not seek external validation, as it is supported by a stable and unchanging internal energy. It does not refer to an aggressive masculinity, but rather to a complete, harmonious masculinity, which emanates an innate magnetism. And this transformation, although not noticeable to the naked eye, is noticed by those around us. This new presence, like an energy that expands and attracts what echoes in its frequency, attracts more genuine relationships, more meaningful experiences, and an innate respect that arises from alignment with who we really are. At its core, the practice of retention teaches us about the power of patience and discipline. We understand that authentic strength does not reside in the incessant search for external rewards, but in the creation of an internal energy that strengthens and balances us. Although it may seem complicated, this process is a gift to ourselves, a demonstration of self-love and respect for our own energy and potential. In high-performance contexts, every detail is relevant, making semen retention a strategic benefit. Throughout my career as a college athlete, this has become quite evident to me. When I started the practice of semen retention, I noticed a change in my energy. It wasn't just about physical resistance, but also about how this energy was channeled and how it impacted each part of my performance. My ability to concentrate and self-confidence grew considerably, which was directly manifested on the track and in competitions. Retention generates a store of energy that goes beyond the physical. With each workout, I felt more focused and less susceptible to distractions, as if my mind was sharp, ready to deal with any obstacle. This high concentration is one of the main benefits, since when the mind is in harmony with the body, there is no loss of energy with disorganized thoughts or uncertainties. And this is not ignored by others. In a competitive scenario, opponents examine every movement, every facial expression, trying to detect any sign of vulnerability or hesitation. However, when you find yourself in retention, your attitudes and posture reveal self-confidence and intensity. The body expresses what the mind feels, becoming dominant before the race even begins. Semen retention generates an aura that becomes noticeable to others. It's not something you impose, but something that comes naturally. You enter a competition knowing that you are fit, that every cell in your body has potent energy. This gives you a crucial mental advantage, as the confidence you convey impacts those around you. In many sports, victory is established even before the starting shot, and the psychological effect it causes is a fundamental element of this. When you feel safe and confident, others pick up on that energy, and it can lead them to question their own abilities. This is the kind of power that retention provides, an impact that goes beyond the physical and reaches the mental. In addition to concentration and security, my resistance and physical strength increased significantly. When performing the retention, I found my body more resistant, my breathing more controlled, and I was able to sustain an intense rhythm for a longer period without getting tired. Throughout training, I noticed that my energy was practically unlimited, something that was also noticed by the people around me. They questioned what I was doing that was different. What gave me such an advantage? To a large extent, this advantage came from retention, the ability to preserve my vital energy internally and use it strategically. Another characteristic that changed was my emotional stability. During competitions, it is crucial to remain calm and control your emotions. By practicing retention, you learn to manage your emotions more effectively as you develop self-control that applies to all areas of life. I felt more focused and less likely to be affected by pressure. This not only helped me prevent failures, but also gave me clarity to make agile and effective choices. The energy you preserve provides an internal stability that enables you to face any obstacle with tranquility. Even in the most challenging circumstances, this accumulated energy keeps you stable, as you are aware that you have an internal source robust enough to support you. At that time, many of my co-workers were ignorant of the importance of retention. They were trapped in the cycle of instant gratification, without realizing the potential they were failing to take advantage of. In academia, particularly among athletes, it is common for the release of energy to be considered normal, even desirable, without recognizing the effect this can have on performance and attitude. However, when you choose retention, you begin to excel because the energy you conserve is not being wasted. It is directed towards a greater purpose, providing an advantage that cannot be easily replicated. This advantage comes from accumulated energy that is converted into concentration, discipline, and capacity for action. In the sporting sphere, where everyone is physically fit, it is the mental and emotional aspects that determine who triumphs and who is left behind. Semen retention becomes an effective strategy as it not only strengthens the body, but also trains the mind. You believe you have an inexhaustible source of energy that can be activated at the most crucial moments. During a race, when everyone is exhausted, that additional energy you have accumulated turns into a potent weapon, allowing you to overcome your own obstacles. This practice demonstrates that true strength lies in the ability to conserve and channel your energy wisely. By choosing retention, you are signaling to your body that it is time to reach maximum efficiency. Your system understands the need to optimize each resource, and you begin to notice an improvement in your recovery capacity, your disposition, and even the way you assimilate and process information. In a training context, where every moment is crucial, where every decision must be agile and accurate, this clarity and willingness become indispensable. You feel constantly prepared, as if nothing can keep you from your purpose. Furthermore, retention provides a different approach to obstacles as you learn to master your internal impulses. In sport, discipline is essential, and retention provides that discipline in a practical way as you choose to master your body and mind. This manifests itself in all facets of your performance. You become more tactical, less susceptible to failure, more aware of your actions. With each exercise, with each competition, you realize that you are developing not only physically, but also psychologically. And this discipline goes beyond sport. It becomes a lifestyle, a route to self-control. Retention also provides a unique view of your body and its restrictions. When you maintain this essential energy, your body begins to operate optimally. You notice a connection between the physical and the mental, as if your entire existence is in tune for a greater goal. In the sporting field, this is crucial, as it is not just about competing with others, but also against your own restrictions. And through retention, these constraints begin to be overcome one by one as you are operating at a level of maximum efficiency. The effectiveness of this practice goes beyond the limits of the tracks or the field. It extends to every aspect of your life as the confidence you gain, the mental strength you develop, the focus you improve, all influence the way you perceive life in general. When you manage to preserve this vital energy within you, you understand that nothing is insurmountable, and that each obstacle is just another chance to demonstrate your strength and commitment. When discussing semen retention, we often focus on the visible physical and mental aspects. However, there is a profound dimension that is crucial and that few discuss: the direct effect on the immune system. Preserving this vital energy allows the body to allocate more resources to the vital functions of defense and regeneration, reinforcing the innate ability to cope with disease and keeping the body in a state of balance and readiness. Semen retention strengthens the immune system as it preserves an internal reserve of nutrients, hormones, and essential energies that the body normally uses in healing processes. When we refrain from releasing energy continuously, the body uses this stock to improve the immune response. This energy, which would normally be released, is stored and is ready to be used against any danger. It's like having a prepared army, ready to fight infections, viruses, and any external element that could affect the internal balance. But first of all, I have some news that you didn't expect. I am Leata, and if you are ready to transform your life and raise your energy to levels never before imagined, I want to introduce you to Semen Retention Success Path, the definitive audiobook that could be the key to a new phase in your journey of growth. I have gathered the 6 most powerful themes about semen retention and prepared more than 2 hours of practical and valuable content that will guide you through this experience of self-discovery and personal fulfillment. Imagine what it would be like to unlock immense vital energy, restore your vitality, and achieve profound, lasting, and truly transformative development. This audiobook goes far beyond just informing. It's the practical guide you've been waiting for, full of strategies that will take you to a new level of self-confidence and personal mastery. And there's more. When purchasing the Semen Retention Success Path, you will also receive an exclusive 30% discount on my ebook, The Art of Semen Retention for Men, which has more than 20 pages of profound techniques for spiritual development, emotional balance, self-awareness, and more. And as an extra opportunity for those who really want to support the growth of this work and be part of this mission, I opened a new members tab here on the channel. By becoming a member, you not only show your support, but you will also have access to exclusive YouTube privileges and benefits that will connect you even more with the channel and motivate me to bring more and more impactful news. This is your chance to become a true supporter and strengthen our community. This practice enhances the body's innate resilience, and one of the most fascinating effects is the improvement of the sensitivity of the nervous system, which works as an early warning mechanism. When the organism identifies a threat, this protection network activates more efficiently. Retention allows you to become more aware of your body's signals, making it easier to quickly identify when something is not in order. It is similar to an internal security system that becomes more perceptible and vigilant, identifying and neutralizing threats before they express themselves in an aggressive manner. This improved sensitivity provides a health benefit as it allows us to act preventatively. In addition to strengthening the immune system, there is also an increase in energy. Semen retention raises its vibration, raising its energy to a level that makes it difficult for viruses and bacteria, which operate at lower frequencies, to penetrate the body. From an energetic perspective, the retention exercise establishes a barrier that protects the organism. It seems that your energy vibrates at such a high frequency that illnesses simply cannot connect to it. This energetic perspective of immunity reveals that our vibration directly influences our health, and that maintaining high energy is one of the most effective defenses against any type of pathogen. The benefits of semen retention go beyond the physical aspect. They wrap the body in a layer of protection, establishing a natural and lasting barrier that increases our resistance to illnesses. This natural barrier represents the maintenance of our vital energy, functioning as a shield, forming an extra layer of protection around us. During retention, our body functions at a higher level of balance, as if all systems were in harmony and collaborating to preserve our health and vigor. This energetic balance not only strengthens the immune system, but also promotes emotional and mental stability, a crucial factor for complete health. Fluid retention creates a kind of energy reserve that the body uses strategically. When we face viruses or bacteria, this internal reserve allows us to react more effectively and quickly, as if the body had more energy to fight these invaders. This is a difference that, for many, may seem imperceptible, but which becomes clear in practice. Fewer flus, fewer episodes of severe exhaustion, and a much faster recovery when an illness arises. This is the power of a body that is not constantly depleted of its resources, but that knows how to use them more effectively. Another notable aspect is how this practice allows us a more intense connection with our body's signals. Holding makes you more sensitive and aware of what the body is transmitting. Instead of disregarding small inconveniences, you begin to notice subtleties, minimal changes that may signal that something requires attention. This degree of self-awareness enables us to act preventively, strengthening our immune system before any symptoms worsen. It is a relationship of respect and care for oneself, in which retention teaches us to listen and react proactively, there, is something profoundly transformative about understanding that your health condition is intrinsically related to the way you manage your vital energy. Retention demonstrates that we have a significant influence over our immunity and that the way we manage this energy is crucial to keeping the body at a high level of health. When the body does not need to waste energy on incessant release and recovery processes, it can focus its efforts on preserving vitality and protecting against external dangers. It is a cycle of strengthening and renewal that, in addition to protecting the immune system, improves the quality of life in general. The practice of retaining semen not only changes the body and mind, but also expands the individual's view of themselves. This growth in self-esteem and self-confidence is not merely a temporary effect, but a robust construction that is consolidated over time. When you choose retention, you realize that you are making an investment in yourself in a way that few are ready to make. This gesture of preservation promotes a sense of personal value that fosters self-esteem and self-confidence, since, by preserving your vital energy, you begin to see your potential more clearly. This procedure goes beyond a mere placebo effect. It is a powerful fusion of psychological, biological, and spiritual changes that come together to establish a state of individual security and stability. By storing this energy, the body reacts physically with more energy and vitality, and the mind follows this transformation. You begin to be more aware of your value and see yourself in a renewed way, understanding that this accumulated energy is a fuel that drives you forward. This new state causes a feeling of independence that makes the individual more resistant to external obstacles, making them assume a more assertive and secure stance in the world. This security, supported by retention, has deep roots. Unlike self-confidence based on external achievements, this arises from within, from the perception of one's own power and control over one's actions and impulses. When you manage to master a desire as intense as sexual energy, you realize that you also have the ability to control other aspects of your life. This mastery, begun in the body, extends to the mind and establishes a foundation of unshakable trust. The constant practice of this self-control increases mental resilience, making the individual more able to face challenges, whether large or small. During this process, self-esteem is strengthened as you begin to realize the real effect that retention has on your life. You become more aware of your abilities and start to trust yourself. This results in an expanded view of who you are and the skills you have, generating a cycle of self-worth. Each day of retention reinforces this self-esteem, becoming an emblem of discipline and resolution. This dedication to yourself is one of the foundations for in-depth self-knowledge, which changes the way you perceive yourself and how you relate to the world. This transformation is evident to those around you. The self-confidence you gain through retention does not need to be stated. It is evident in your posture, your voice, the way you relate to others, and how you manage daily circumstances. This silent security is a characteristic of those who truly know their worth, and it inspires respect and admiration. As this silent self-confidence is strengthened, you understand that it is not necessary to demonstrate anything to anyone. Semen retention provides a sense of conclusion, as if something in you were finally in harmony, complete. This feeling of independence frees you from external pressures, allowing you to act based on your own convictions, rather than constantly seeking the approval of others. You become firmer, aware that your choices come from a place of authentic connection with yourself, not from impulses or ephemeral yearnings. This sense of completion and confidence transcends words, modifies the way you position yourself in the world. The people around you begin to realize this subtle but significant change. It is an energy that transmits authority and security without the need for words. This presence is direct fruit of authentic self-esteem developed through self-control and discipline. When dominating, you begin to realize that you have almost boundless potential that expands as you invest in this internal energy. This semen retention practice not only changes the way it is perceived, but also expands its perspective on what is viable. By feeling this inner force increasing, you realize that many of the obstacles that once seemed real were, in fact, projections of your own fears and uncertainties. Day after day, you surpass these barriers and approach a higher version of yourself. The self-confidence that arises from this process is like a light that brightens each area of your life, guiding it clearly and objective. Emotional stability is also a component of this change process. By preserving this vital energy, you become more resistant, becoming less vulnerable to the emotional fluctuations that could previously destabilize it. This new emotional balance increases your self-confidence as you realize that you have the ability to deal with the obstacles of life with tranquility and clarity. Retention teaches you how to deposit deep confidence in yourself, and this self-confidence becomes the foundation for your personal development and building a more complete and purposeful life. This state of self-sufficiency, of authentic self-esteem, is a rare experience for the few, but accessible to everyone who opts for this practice. You begin to understand that true power does not reside in external triumphs or recognition of others, but in the ability to remain loyal to yourself, to value your own energy, and to live in tune with your highest principles. Semen retention is fundamentally an emotional resilience practice, an activity that goes beyond the physical and mental limits, reaching the most intimate layers of being. By choosing to avoid instant pleasure, you are improving a scarce competence in the era of incessant demand for immediate pleasure, the ability to resist impulses and to focus on what is really relevant. This self-control not only fortifies the mind, but also forms character, making it a more balanced person, able to manage emotional oscillations with more peace and objectivity. This emotional strengthening resulting from the practice of retention does not manifest itself instantly. Every moment you choose not to satisfy immediate desire, you reaffirm your commitment to yourself and your development. The perception that you do not need to submit to the emotions that arise, or the desires that often try to divert you from your goal begins. Gradually, this self-control sets a firm foundation for emotional balance, and you begin to experience internal stability that prepares you best to deal with adversity. By acquiring this ability to manage your desires, you become less susceptible to external influences and emotional oscillations that previously impacted it significantly. This new emotional stability makes you more resistant to life's challenges and temptations, since you begin to understand that your real value and true strength do not reside in following each impulse, but to stay focused and loyal to your purposes. This inner force enables you to overcome moments of stress and adversity in a much more efficient way, as you are aware that you have an internal source of energy that supports you. This process of internal change is a liberation. By practicing semen retention, you begin to understand that you are not subject to external circumstances to achieve balance and internal tranquility. You become emotionally independent, reaching a degree of maturity that puts you in a situation of psychological autonomy. It is a feeling of freedom to realize that your emotions and yearnings do not dominate you, that you have the ability to guide your life with a lucid mind and a reinforced determination. Therefore, retention is a way for real and intense growth. By being able to balance your needs and yearnings with a concentrated and disciplined mind, you reach a state of tranquility and security that few external circumstances can disturb. This form of resilience is transformative as it changes the way you interact with the world around you and yourself. This change goes beyond the ability to resist impulses. It is about developing a disciplined mind and an unshakable determination, characteristics that manifest themselves in all aspects of your life. By exercising retention, you notice that the temptations and yearnings that previously distracted it decrease. They are no longer barriers and turn into chances to reinforce their resolution. By choosing not to give in to an immediate boost, you are training your mind to be more resilient and focused, resulting in emotional stability that is not based on external factors. Gradually, this ability to emotional resilience reveals itself as genuine maturity. You get the ability to perceive your emotions and yearnings without being influenced by them. Instead of acting impulsively, you gain the ability to react in a thoughtful manner, analyzing the circumstances with tranquility and objectivity. This state of emotional balance provides a new view of life. You begin to notice that many of your concerns, anxieties, and frustrations were automatic reactions, now replaced by an inner serenity. This calm is the true foundation of mental tranquility, a foundation that guarantees its stability in any situation. Retention also promotes a sense of self-perception that expands your understanding of who you are and what you truly want. By learning to differentiate passing desires from long-term goals, you become more accurate in your decisions and priorities. This clarity provides strong guidance for your life as you're aware of what is really important and is not carried out by transient distractions. This practice leads you to an emotional self-sufficiency, which enables the construction of a life based on your own decisions and principles, rather than conditioned by expectations of others or the yearning to please. Authentic emotional independence arises by not depending on external stimuli or rewards to achieve satisfaction. Semen retention demonstrates that authentic satisfaction and personal development arise from a disciplined mind and a strengthened will. By cultivating this inner tranquility, you realize that the emotional obstacles that once seemed insurmountable now are just likely to highlight the domain you have about yourself. This emotional resilience alters your perception of strength, as it understands that it can deal with any circumstance with a quiet mind and an unshakable spirit. This retention trip is, in the end, a way to authentic inner freedom. It establishes in you a state of balance, trust, and clarity that cannot be disturbed. This emotional force enables him to build a genuine life, a life that mirrors his true self, free from transient influences and external pressures. Semen retention is fundamentally a trip of self-discovery and discipline, an activity that makes us see beyond the immediate benefits and tangible rewards. By adhering to this practice, the person chooses to follow a path of deep respect and personal appreciation, a path where self-love is not merely an idea, but an experience that is improved daily through control and discipline. This discipline is the core of practice, since it is the one who maintains the goal and reinforces the choice of investing in itself consciously. True self-love arises when you realize that you have the ability to channel your energy to a greater purpose, understanding that this practice of retention does not represent a deprivation, but a way to value who you really are. This is a commitment you make to yourself, a promise to pursue the best, to cultivate the best version of who you can become. So this trip of retention becomes an internal construction process, where each conscious decision establishes a robust basis of self-comprehension and self-esteem. Discipline and self-esteem are intrinsically linked. By practicing retention, you express respect for your personal energy, your ability to manage impulses, and focus on what is really relevant. This discipline, developed day after day, consolidates its identity and provides a sense of security and fullness. You no longer need to seek validation in others, as the strength and tranquility that support your actions and decisions reside in yourself. This foundation of discipline and self-love prepares you to deal with the obstacles of life in a balanced and focused way. It acquires self-confidence, values what is really relevant, and remains loyal to its principles. This dedication to development itself makes semen retention a potent instrument of personal change, a practice that goes beyond any physical or psychological advantage. It turns into a manifestation of respect and love that you nourish for yourself, a way of living in tune with your true nature. This decision to live in a disciplined and harmonious manner demonstrates a profound understanding that authentic joy comes from within, self-control, and the appreciation of self. In this context, semen retention is a means for a full and genuine existence, an existence where you feel complete, healthy, and quiet. By cultivating this self-love and self-knowledge foundation, you understand that authentic happiness is not determined by external elements, but by the connection it establishes yourself. This connection leads you to live a life with purpose, a life where you feel that you are totally in tune with who you really are. As this trip progresses, you realize that the true force of semen retention lies in establishing a deep and authentic connection with yourself. This constant practice of discipline and self-esteem makes you realize that your value does not reside in the goods you acquire or the approvals you receive, but in your ability to value your own energy and live according to your principles. Therefore, semen retention becomes an emblem of personal integrity, a daily reminder that you are solely responsible for your own development and well-being. This degree of discipline, developed and maintained over time, fortifies internally. By remaining faithful to this practice, you are not only retaining your vital energy, but also establishing a commitment to your own potential. Every day, every moment you choose to stay true to your goal, you are cultivating an authentic self-love from your own ability to love and respect yourself. This self-love raises it and helps to see the life of a new angle, where external distractions are set aside, and what really counts is its tune with oneself. This process of change is known inexhaustible source of strength and tranquility, leading it to a state of tranquility that few can achieve. Semen retention enables you to discover the depths of your being, understanding the true nature of discipline, which is not rigidity, but freedom. Freedom to choose what is most beneficial to you, to guide your life with independence and clarity. This freedom presents itself as serene confidence, an inner conviction that you are in charge of your own trajectory, guided by genuine principles. This balanced and disciplined lifestyle that you establish leads you to a lasting journey of satisfaction. Instead of looking for what you already have internally, you become your own source of energy and motivation. Understands that joy and satisfaction are the result of a balanced life, a relationship of respect and care with oneself. This balance is not merely a passing award, it is the basis for a full and healthy life, where each decision demonstrates its commitment to becoming its best version. Ultimately, this trip tries to discover and nourish your authentic self. The practice of retaining semen requires commitment, discipline, and self-esteem, but provides a richer, genuine, and stronger life. By choosing to value your own energy, you are choosing to live in peace with yourself and the world. Have you ever wondered how many times let your energy escape, then feel tired, unmotivated, or without direction? What if I told you that the key to a fuller life, with more confidence and balance, is precisely to learn to master this energy? Semen retention is a powerful way to access your true potential and transform the way you view the challenges of life. If this content has resonated with you, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who can also benefit. And to deepen even more, check out the next video. Your self-discovery journey is just starting.